Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to week 4 of distance learning. I still miss all of you so very much. I am excited to share this reading lesson with you because it's a story that you're all very familiar with, and it's also a genre that you studied extensively in 2nd grade, but it's still a fun story to learn, and there are some experiments that you can do at home then after you're done reading it, and experiments that you'll enjoy doing together with your family. So the genre that we're going to do is fairy tales, and the story itself is Rapunzel. So as you read, or as you choose to listen to me read it with you, I want you to think about some of the comprehension strategies that we were learning before you went home to be safe with your family. So take a look at the graphic organizer. These were some of the things that you were using in my classroom on a regular basis. The questions that you are using to remember. You are answering that top one, the who. Who wanted what? But what happened? So then what happened? And then all the way to the end, then how was the problem solved? So that first one, the somebody, or I always say the who, don't I? You'll always correct me. The who, those are your characters, wanted what? But they never get it, so that's the problem, the but. Who wanted what, but what happened instead? So Mrs. Spitzley wanted a sunny day, but I got a rainy day instead. So what are the things that happen next all the way to the end? So I'm going to read the story to you now. If you'd rather not listen to me read it to you, you can pause the video here and you can go to over on the Google slide and you can read the story all on your own. But then when you're done, I'd like you to come back and listen to the end of what I have to say. I'll see you back in a little bit if you're leaving me. All right, Rapunzel. Long ago, a witch took a baby girl from her parents. The witch named the baby girl Rapunzel. Rapunzel grew and grew. Her hair grew and grew too. When Rapunzel turned 10, the witch locked her in a tower. No one would ever find her there. Let's go ahead and pause. We have a who. Who is our who? Yep, Rapunzel. You could have also told me the witch. As we get going, though, we should have a wanted. So let's be thinking about, as we listen to the Rapunzel, the wanted. Who wanted? And that will clarify for us, are we talking more about Rapunzel or the witch? Okay, now scroll down a little bit. We're going to start right here. The witch took food to the tower every day. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, called the witch. Rapunzel dropped her long hair out the window. Then the witch climbed up. One day a prince took a ride on his horse. He rode by the tower. The prince hid when he heard the witch. He watched the witch climb up Rapunzel's hair. Do we have the wanted what yet? Maybe we could say the witch wanted Rapunzel to let down her hair? I don't know. Let's keep listening. On to the next page. When the witch left, the prince went to the tower. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair, called the prince. Rapunzel dropped her long hair out the window. Then the prince climbed up. Rapunzel was scared when she saw the prince, but she soon learned he was her friend. So she told him about the witch. The prince had a rope. He used it to help Rapunzel out of the tower. Then the prince and Rapunzel rode away on his horse. They rode to the prince's castle far away from the witch. And that's where Rapunzel lived, happily ever after. Oh, forgot the picture. Go. All right, let's take a look back here, shall we? Who? Was the story mostly about Rapunzel or the witch? Yeah, I agree with you. It was about Rapunzel. What did she want? That was kind of tricky because it's not a right there question. It never says in the text exactly what she wanted, did it? It's one of those inference questions where you have to take what you know in your head with what you see in front of you. Could we agree that what she wanted was to get out of the tower? But what was the problem? Again, unless you're really familiar with this because of the Disney movie, that's another inference question, isn't it? Could she get out of the tower by herself? No, she couldn't. If you look back here in the text, it says right here, the prince had a rope. Rapunzel's hair was the rope for the witch, and the prince, she couldn't get down by herself. So Rapunzel wanted to get out of the tower, but she didn't have a rope. She didn't have a way to get down. So what happened next? And that's your assignment. You actually have 2 assignments that you need to do for me. Excuse me for a minute there. Here we go. You actually have 2 assignments that you need to do for me. The first one is I'd like you to fill out the answers to that graphic organizer. Remember, you don't need to print it. You can just write it out, or you could talk over the answers with somebody, an older adult or an older sibling at home. I want you to talk over the answers. Who wanted what, but what happened, which we already talked about. So you're really responsible for those last 2 answers. So, and then what happened. But the more interesting thing that I teach you about was some experiments. Here's my problem with fairy tales. You know I'm kind of strong-willed, right? I'm a little bossy, I'm opinionated, I like to get my way. Who says Rapunzel needed a man to help her? Aren't all Disney stories like that? They need a man, a Prince Charming to save them? So, in the document, after those 2 pages of the Rapunzel story, it challenges you to have you help Rapunzel escape on her own. There are different examples and experiments for you to try to help Rapunzel escape from her tower all by herself. So that is my challenge for you. Have some fun with it. Use the materials and everything you have at home to come up with a way for Rapunzel to have escaped all by herself. I love to see some pictures of that, maybe a movie. Have your mom or dad, older sibling, take some pictures and email them to me. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Have fun and keep reading.